welcome back to Exterminate, a Doctor Who podcast with Who's He podcast, who has been on the rest of our season 1 reviews. We already know who he is, so we won't go into that big long introduction we've done
every other time. Yes.
So let's get into our review of 73 Yards. Okay, so what did you think?
It was quite good actually, wasn't it? It was very spooky. Very spooky in places. And then it turned into a bit of a political satire. Then it was like a time loop travels type thing. So
a big long plot.
Yeah. There was a lot of ideas crammed into 45 minutes here, weren't there? There really was. But
it could have looked as a season finale, really.
Well, I think it's not without problems for me though, because a lot of it didn't make a lot of sense. There's lots of things that are left unexplained, which I think needed an explanation, such as why was that circle put on the cliff top? I know it's all about Mad Jack and all that. Was it really, like what they call it, a fairy circle? Why did the Doctor disappear? Where did he go to? Why all of a sudden could Ruby have the powers to create a time loop? So there was a lot of things not really answered. Well, not in this episode, but maybe it's going to be explained later on in the finale or something.
I mean, you could sort of say that the Doctor just sort of disappeared from time. The time didn't stop, you could say, but he just sort of disappeared from it because it was the effect of that woman staying in time when she should have been gone, because he broke the fairy circle that was connected to her. So I think that circle might have been connected to her, and when he broke it, he got taken out of time.
I know. I think that the thing is, and I said this on my own podcast as well, I think just trying to explain things otherwise, it's the supernatural. Because even like when Kate Stewart popped up in it later on with Unit, which was a nice surprise. I wasn't expecting to see Kate Stewart or Unit so early in the series. I think it was even a case of, well, she was saying that, for some reason, there's more supernatural things happening now, which is, and we know about that because of what the Doctor did back in Wild Blue Yonder.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough. But then you still have to explain things that happen rather than just saying, it's magic or it's the supernatural. There's still got to be a reason under the magic or the supernatural umbrella. And it wasn't really explained. So I think there's a lot of things required explanation, but it didn't stop my enjoyment of it because I thought it was really well done.
We had our Susan Twist appearance, but the weird thing is, because that timeline now doesn't exist anymore, does it? Well, Ruby doesn't remember it because she's now her younger self, and that's been erased, all of that.
Well, no, she does kind of remember it. She has a bit like deja vu when it all gets reset. And she can hear herself saying, don't step on the circle, and she pulls the Doctor back in time. But the way it still starts off with them talking about Roger Ap Gwilliam, saying that he was the worst Prime Minister Britain ever had, and he brought it to the brink of nuclear war. Then he asks Ruby, what year are you from again? Because this is in her future.
This is 22 years in the future.
Yeah, so, but it's still, that bit can still happen. So Roger Ap Gwilliam is still yet to happen.
And he's still run for 22 more years.
Well, the thing is, he's still going to do that thing. He's still going to bring, because the Doctor can see past, present, future. It's still going to happen. But is it, as you said, Scott? Is it now an alternate timeline or what? Or is it? And I don't know if the Roger Ap Gwilliam character is going to be seen again.
Do you think
maybe I don't know, actually.
They land in 2046 and stop them, or they get put, or if something goes wrong and they get put in the alternative timeline, but it wipes out the other Ruby and puts those two in?
Well, yeah, I think that's what the other Ruby's gone because she
doesn't exist.
Yeah, because Ruby stopped the Doctor from stepping on it, so she disappeared. So she's done now.
Older Ruby.
Yeah, so I don't really know what's going to happen there now, but I liked to begin. It was creepy. You think it was to do with the supernatural, the way the people in the pub were talking to her, and they were just winding her up, weren't they, about the whole witchcraft thing, which I thought was
not supernatural. It's this weird woman following her and all.
Well, that was the only thing, because it wasn't even that really. It was the fact that nobody seemed to notice the old woman until Ruby pointed her out to them. They could see her,
because of the perception filter on her.
But I liked it. But the thing is, though, I think that the best thing about this episode was Millie Gibson, because I think she carried the whole episode. She did carry the whole episode because Ruby-tacular wasn't in this one. And it's because it was one of the first things they filmed, because Ruby-tacular was still doing his last season of Sex Education.
And considering the fact it's been her best performance so far, and she was 18 when she.
Well, that was her first. Well, the thing is,
and it was her first one.
It's her first one as well. I know. So I've liked Millie Gibson and Ruby-tacular all the way through this. I think they've been the best things in all of it actually so far. Even the stories have been pants a lot of the time.
Yeah, some points of. I don't even think
Boom was good.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah. I think they put the weaker stories at the beginning, and then they're bringing out all the big guns, like the heavy, plot twisting, difficult to follow.
Well, there's something to be said for that, because if you want to get new viewers into Doctor Who, you do your good stuff first to get them hooked in. And I don't think Space Babies was good enough.
No. To
get new viewers hooked in, and it certainly, I don't say, it put off a lot of older viewers as well, thinking this Doctor Who isn't for me anymore now.
I mean, but a lot of older viewers, how do I put it? A lot of them make YouTube videos saying how woke it is and how bad these episodes are and how crap they are and all of that. I have nothing nice to say. All I do is say about the crap parts, say it's woke, and then and they don't shut up about it.
That's the thing. It's easier to be rude about something than it is to actually think about it and think, okay, maybe it's not that bad.
If you don't have anything nice to say, why
bother?
Do it.
If you're not going to watch it,
no,
just turn it off and keep stum. Really,
watch.
I know everyone's got an opinion. I mean, I've been fairly unkind to a lot of Doctor Who since it came back. I haven't really enjoyed it properly like I used to.
But you still enjoy it? I
still enjoy it. I'll still watch it, but I don't think it's as good as it could be, put it that way. And we know it can be. I mean, Russell T Davies, he can do some good scripts, but this was very reminiscent of what he's done before. It was sort of like Last of the Time Lords with the lone, the companion, like Martha was on her own for a year. The whole thing, like Turn Left, it was again like Donna being without the Doctor, all those things happening without him being there.
Like to Amy's Choice.
Yeah, that was another one as well.
Companion stories.
Yeah. What's the other
Fear
thing?
Her.
No, not Fear Her so much. I was thinking more of that the companion carries the entire episode.
Flatline.
Well, no, I was thinking more like Midnight as well, because it's an unknown, unexplained monster as well.
Doctor carries. I mean,
the Doctor carries
that's just an example of the aliens.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, it's another one of the things that RTD's repeating stuff he's done before, and it was all in this one episode, to be honest. It's still enjoyable. I mean, Midnight's a good story, but I think sometimes you don't need an explanation for everything. Sometimes it's best to just keep you guessing. Apparently, Russell T Davies has said he's not going to tell anybody what older Ruby said to those people to make them scared or look at Ruby in disgust and contempt. So he's not going to explain that, which is okay, fair enough. But the whole thing about why the Doctor disappeared, why can Ruby all of a sudden haunt herself in a time loop? That does need explanation.
I think it's because that woman eventually caught up with her. So it's sort of like as if the Doctor was meant to tread on that thing. That woman could catch up with her, and then she was able to stop the Doctor from treading on it, so it didn't happen all over again.
Well, that's the thing. Ruby didn't know that. She had no idea that it was herself in the future.
I know, but
herself,
older Ruby knows, but because she got the deja vu about what happened to her when she let the Doctor tread on it, she stopped him in time to stop that from happening again, with older Ruby following her around doing those funny hand actions.
You can barely hear it in the soundtrack, but you can hear older Ruby telling Ruby. Yeah, so it's very, very low in the mix actually.
I only heard it when we watched it at 7 o'clock in the morning for your podcast. We watched it twice. And then I heard it and watched it again, and that's the only time I heard it, because I didn't hear it the first time.
No, exactly.
I just thought it was like whispers or something.
Yeah, it's very low in the mix, isn't it? But I think the other issue with this as well, the Roderick William character, I think that should have been its own story. Because I think there was as I said, there's a hell of a lot of stuff packed in at 45 minutes, and I think that kind of story and that kind of character needed a bit more time and a bit more work done to it, because
it probably will in the future.
Well, it's like, why? what was he really? Was he really this evil entity called Mad Jack? And the way that was done, he was a jack of all trades. Mad Jack, they called me, which was like Jack Hartley's saying, the face of Bo, they used to call me. Again, it's repeating those sort of things, and I think it didn't really work. It was a bit too clumsy. The Mad Jack reveal.
I think
you wouldn't call someone a mad. You just call that person a jack of all trades. You wouldn't call them, oh, that's Mad Jack because he's a jack of all trades. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, Ruby can scare people off with that woman because, as you saw, Susan Twist, the first time we saw it, she ran away, and that's the whole reason, because he interacted with the woman by getting her 73 yards away from her, but close enough to get to him to scare him away.
I know. I like that bit. That was clever.
Yeah.
I like.
If the bit earlier on with Susan Twist never happened, or the bit where her mum got scared because of it, or her mum kicked her out, or something like that, you would have been confused. So that's good why they put that in.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's. I like I like that whole ghostly figure thing and being kept at a distance all the time. I like the idea, but I think that was enough.
Yeah.
Really. I know each story's got to have a villain, but I think that was a big enough mystery, really, to not bother with the Roger William character. And it worked well. It worked well without the Doctor as well. There's another unexplained thing why she couldn't get into the TARDIS anymore.
Is
why
it because
the key
he
didn't work.
wasn't there?
I don't know.
Was the TARDIS throwing a tantrum?
Or that was locked in time as well.
Yeah.
Again, I think there's a lot of stuff not explained.
Oh, because the Doctor disappeared. He was basically it's almost like people remembered him, but he never actually existed. And the TARDIS was just a police box that's been locked up that never existed.
Well, no, I think it was. Cause remember in Father's Day?
Yeah.
Do you remember Father's Day when
I've watched
Rose,
it.
when Rose says to her dad when he was meant to have been killed, and then the TARDIS did just become a police box because the Doctor opened it was completely empty.
It's a shame that it couldn't have happened again.
Yeah,
So
but again,
it might have explained quite a bit more.
Well, really, it was repeating. I know he didn't write that one. I think it was Paul Cornell wrote Father's Day, but that was again repeating an idea that had already been used. There was nothing. Ideas get recycled all the time. It's just the fact it's come from the same program maker.
Well, the thing is that was all set in one day. It was set in like
over
years,
65 years.
Yeah. But when she returned, it was covered in flowers and overgrown because it was just left there, and it was because the TARDIS is like really heavy. I mean, the unit must have managed to lift them up, but they've got like all that technology, but because it's so heavy, it actually got like our entire spaceship.
It is weird that remember Kate asked Ruby, "Where's the TARDIS?" and she knew exactly where it was, and then I know Ruby scared Unit off with her future self, or whatever she said to them all. But it doesn't explain why Unit didn't pick up the TARDIS and just take it away, really, when they knew where it was. It's like they completely, whatever happened, completely scared them off.
From everything to do with the Doctor.
Exactly, yeah, which is a bit strange. But,
very odd.
Or maybe that's what Ruby. I don't know. We're not. As I say, a lot of unanswered questions here. There's a lot of whys with this. Why this and why they said this.
Why? Because
Kate
Stewart's not going to know.
No,
because she won't remember anything because she was only there for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and she disappeared.
Yeah,
so she's not going to know what happened.
No.
Only Ruby is going to slightly know. Even then, she wouldn't.
She won't remember. No, it's because it hasn't happened for her.
I mean, she gets the deja vu from it. It's like because it's already happened at the time that she told him to stop. She can almost remember it happening. And she said no because the voices and it unlocked her memory. And then she didn't know. And then she sort of didn't know why she told him to not.
Yeah, just like something.
An instinct.
Yeah,
an instinct.
Instincts more.
There.
Yeah, that's it. But all in all, it's probably one of the better episodes we've had so far, and it's just not without its problems.
The last one and this one have been amazing.
The best one, yeah.
The best one so far.
Yeah, you really enjoyed this one, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean the one before was good. That one was really good.
Yeah.
This time there's 2 snow appearances as well. The lovely snow.
Yes. And also, you said that Ruby recognised the Susan Twist character?
Yes, but now she doesn't anymore because that was another timeline.
Well, she might do. She might now.
She might sort of, but not as clear. But she'll remember the face.
Well, we know she's going to be in next week's episode.
I mean, not as much though.
No, mate. Well, we'll see.
I think she might not She might realise.
Maybe the Doctor might this time.
Maybe they both might realise because
Yeah.
they're both there now. They can both
Yeah.
see what's going on.
Yeah.
The next
So-
ones are based around like technology and stuff. Anyways, what do you rate this one before we quickly have a small?
I think this is a it probably gets my better judgment. 8 out of 10. I think this
I'm
one.
gonna give it a 9. I did 8
9,
out of 10
okay.
for the last one.
Okay.
But I think
It's-
this one was a better.
It was.
It wasn't a better episode. It was just.
Well, it's different.
It's different and it's sort of
Yeah.
experimenting with new things. Like you never had an episode where it's just their companion and seeing all of their futures if they sort of never finish travelling with the Doctor and that, which has never really been done before. The Doctor disappearing and them just carrying on with their lives.
Not really. No, it's
You know, it's
and
something different.
actually, what I did
in a
like
way.
as well, because I remember when that Christmas episode where the Doctor, the Peter Capaldi and Jenna Conway, they meet Father Christmas.
Yeah, that was Dream Crabs.
I can't remember the episode now, but
Last Christmas.
is it Last Christmas?
Literally just called Last Christmas.
Oh right, okay. At the end, he meets old Clara,
Yeah.
and it's Jenna Conway in old lady makeup.
Although now that doesn't exist because Clara is sort of.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm glad they didn't do that with Ruby. They actually got an older
No.
actress to play, 'cause it just works better that way, I think, actually, because I think the older, sometimes the
Ruby.
makeup is a little bit hokey.
Pants.
Yeah, a bit pants sometimes.
You
but
can actually tell it's the actor.
yeah, you can
in
really.
there.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be the same person, so you would meant to recognise. But at least, I think this time it's better to use an older
And they had
person.
quite good resemblance.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, it was good. It was good. Excellent.
Yep, okay, so I know we haven't really done about this, but what do you think the next episode is going to be out very quickly?
I think it's all about sort of technology and people not seeing what's going on around them because they're so
It's called-
hung up on their technology
So it's
bubble.
all about
kind of
social
thing.
media and the bubble sort of like being stuck in this like
Well, it literally
social
is a
media
bubble, isn't it? Well, no, it literally is a bubble because you can see it's a big dome over a city. It's in the trailer.
It's going to
so-
be quite an interesting topic, this video.
Yes, maybe.
And it's weird because the Doctor and Ruby can see what's going on even though they're not there. And they
Yeah.
can see those giant slug creatures, which, by the way, I think they look really good. I think because the next episode seems all pastel, so I think they are sort of creepy. Because they're like really like darkish colours and then
Big slugs,
you've got
aren't
that
they?
pastel around them. It just feels
Pastels.
like pastels.
Not pastels.
I'm calling it pastels.
Pastels. Very posh.
I know, I saw it, you know, don't go there.
No.
I pronounced it wrong.
Okay. Are we done?
Yeah.
Done it? Good. Okay. Do you want to say goodbye then?
Yeah, okay.
So when are we going to be back, Scott?
I don't actually know. That's an interesting question. I did post my community post if you haven't seen. Like, I don't know when I'm going to get the Dalton Bubble review out. But it's going to be sometime.
It'll be a bit later than usual.
It might be Tuesday, maybe.
Yeah, be a bit later than
Monday.
usual because we're going to be
On holiday.
We're not going to be around to watch it on the Saturday. So Sunday's going to be the earliest we're going to watch the episode, isn't it? Really?
Sunday is chill day, so just making a video and watching a Doctor Who episode. So
yeah, that's it. Cool.
that'll be a good day.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for watching today's podcast or listening to it. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.